State your next witness.
State calls Detective Cassandra Lindert.
Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you give in this matter will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
You can please be seated, state and spell your name for the record.
Cassandra Lindert, Cassandra Lindert.
How are you employed?
As a sergeant for the City of Milwaukee Police Department.
How long have you been with the department?
Total about 11 and a half years.
What's your current assignment?
Currently, I'm assigned as a sergeant to District 6 early shift.
Prior to becoming sergeant, what was your capacity with the department?
I was a detective assigned to the homicide division.
How long were you a homicide unit detective?
Approximately 2.5 years.
Were you working in that capacity in April of 2024?
I was.
Specifically April 6th, 2024?
I was.
On that date, did you participate in a search of the playground at 31st and Galena?
I did.
Can you describe what you did there?
On April 6th, I was dispatched to 31st and Galena to the park. I was informed that family and friends of Sade Robinson had responded to the park because they had saw a news article the night prior that police were at the park and were searching it for evidence.
And I should clarify, you actually were there on April 5th as well, correct?
I was.
So why don't you describe when your shift started on April 5th and describe what you did once you got to the park?
On April 5th, my shift would have been 4 p.m. to midnight. I was involved with a team of other homicide detectives. We went to the park due to some video that was retrieved, and we began searching the park. During that search, it was nighttime, and I located a piece of flesh and a left foot.
And was Detective Casey Donahue part of that search as well?
He was.
And was he with you, or did he come after when you located that?
He was with me.
Then what happened?
The search continued on the 5th. My shift would have been over that night, and then I returned to work on the 6th, 4 p.m. to midnight.
Were you searching that playground in conjunction with a specific reported missing person?
Yes.
Who was that?
Sade Robinson.
As it relates to the foot and the piece of human flesh that you located, the medical examiner was summoned to collect those items?
Yes.
Why don't you describe your work on April 6th then in that area when you returned?
So like I was saying, April 6th, I was sent to the park because family members had called our dispatch center saying that they went to the park after seeing the police there the night prior in a news article that were searching for evidence. Specifically on the 6th, the family stated that they had found a blanket that belonged to Sade Robinson.
Describe what happened when you arrived.
When I arrived at the park on 31st and Galena, I briefly met with some of Sade's family and friends that were there. They explained to me that they basically conducted their own search of the park after seeing the news article, and that they had located a pink blanket that belonged to Sade.
Approximately what time was this?
It was approximately 5:10 p.m.
Where did you meet the friends?
Just in the general area of like inside the small park on 31st and Galena.
Then what happened?
After they briefed with me, they took me to the area where they located the pink blanket and showed it to me, and I viewed that myself.
Was there one particular person in particular who you were speaking to?
Yes.
What was that person's name?
I believe her first name was Angela.
Did you document this conversation and contact in a report?
Correct.
Would it help you to review your report? To
Yes.
come up with the name? Why don't you take a look at this and let me know if it's helped?
I'm done.
Thank you.
Yep.
Do you remember the name now?
Yes, it was Kiana Moore.
Okay, where did Ms. Moore take you to show you the blanket?
She took me to the wooded area, and the blanket was located kind of centrally north and south in the park.
If I showed you a map of the park, would you be able to give us a general idea of where the blanket was found?
Yes.
Showing you what's been previously received as exhibit number 191. Do you recognize that?
I do.
That's the 31st and Galena Park and surrounding area.
Correct.
Can you point on there where the blanket was found?
Yes. I would say it was approximately in here.
So south of where you located the foot?
Correct.
Is that an area that had previously been searched to your knowledge?
Yes.
Can you describe that area in terms of what all is there?
So that area in particular is the wooded area that runs north and south in the park on the east side. It's pretty densely wooded. It's not a very well-kept park, so there's a lot of overbrush and like garbage, I guess, and just random stuff that's in the weeds and the grass of the park.
Can you describe what you found when you arrived?
So when I arrived and viewed the blanket, it was kind of just balled up on the ground. It was wet from being on the ground for the night and also kind of dirty with just dirt and leaves and stuff that were attached to it.
What did you do then?
We opened the blanket and I could see that there was a photo printed on the blanket of the face of Sade Robinson, along with a small size like brown dog that her friends and family told me also belonged to her at one point.
That photo of Sade, was that readily apparent? If you had passed that blanket just walking, would the photograph have been readily apparent?
Once the blanket was opened, it would have been. The way the blanket was when I found it, you couldn't really see that the photo was printed on the front of it.
What else did you do?
Once we located the blanket and I did confirm that the photo on the blanket appeared to be Sade Robinson, I requested officers secure the park again. So they used police tape to secure the perimeter of the park, and I requested that Sade's family and friends and other citizens that were in the park be moved to the outer perimeter so we could do another search of the park.
Then what happened?
Myself and some other officers began a search of the wooded area again inside the park.
Did you locate anything else?
So close to the blanket, I located a small piece of what appeared to be flesh. I also located a small piece of what appeared to be bone. The bone appeared to be somewhat fresh, as it was still like pink or red with a little bit of like flesh attached to it.
Anything else?
Yeah, so as the search continued, along the retaining wall that runs north-south in the park that separates the park from the train tracks, approximately 8 feet south of where I located the foot the night prior, I found a mound of debris that consisted of like leaves, sticks, and some smaller logs that appeared to have been intentionally kind of piled together. It seemed out of place. I began removing the top layer of the debris when I then could observe a larger portion of what appeared to be flesh that was a darker skin tone.
After finding these pieces of flesh and bone, did you, I know you've described the sequence in which you've searched. Was somebody there present recovering these items as you're searching?
Yes, so once we made the determination that we found the smaller chunk of flesh, the bone, and then the larger that was buried, we froze the scene, called for a forensic investigator along with the medical examiner, the Milwaukee County medical examiner.
The medical examiner's office recovered these items then?
Yes.
I'm going to show you exhibits 161 through 181 and ask you if you recognize them.
161 is a photo of the park after it had been taped off.
And you can just go through those and let me know if you recognize what each one is, and then we can go through individually what they are.
Yes, I do recognize. I recognize all of them.
I'd ask for exhibits 161 through 181 to be received and published.
Any objection?
No.
They're received. Go ahead.
All right, before we do that, I just want to draw your attention back to exhibit number 191. Could you step down and point to where the items that you've just described were located?
Yes. So again, I would say the blanket was located approximately here. The smaller chunk of flesh and the bone that I located was very close to the blanket. And then the larger chunk of flesh that appeared to be covered by logs was along the retaining wall, which can't be seen, but it would have been south of the foot location.
You can have a seat. Showing you exhibit 161, just to get oriented, what are we looking at?
That is a view of the park taped off by police tape, and that's in particular the playground section.
Okay, what street is over here?
That would be 31st Street.
162, what are we looking at?
That is a photo of, I believe, myself and a couple other detectives beginning a search of the park.
Where is this relative to 161?
I believe that would have been south of the playground on the east side right before entering the wooded area.
163, what is that?
That is an overall of kind of walking into that particular section of the wooded area on the 6th where we located those items I spoke about.
Are you familiar with this building?
Not very.
Okay. Do you know what street that's on?
That should be south-facing Galena.
Showing you 164, what is that?
That is evidence marker 1, which is I placed next to the pink blanket.
Exhibit 165.
It's another view of evidence marker 1 and the pink blanket.
Do you recall if the blanket was wet or had it appeared to have been moved at all?
It was pretty saturated from being out on the ground. in the state we found it is how it was photographed.
Exhibit 166, what is that?
Evidence marker 3, which I would have placed next to, I believe, the smaller chunk of, smaller piece of flesh.
Exhibit number 167, what is that?
That's evidence marker 4, which I placed next to the pile of debris where the larger chunk of, the larger piece of flesh was located.
So here's 168. You can see exhibit markers 3 and 4, correct?
Correct.
Where are those relative to where the blanket was found?
I believe the blanket was slightly south of there.
Exhibit 169, what is that?
That's another view of the pink blanket looking south.
What about exhibit 170? What is that?
It's evidence marker 2 that I placed next to the small bone that I located.
I'm zooming in. There's a ruler there, correct?
Correct.
Approximately how big was that piece of bone?
I would say approximately 3 to 4 inches.
Exhibit number 171, what is that?
So this is a view of evidence marker 4, which was placed kind of on top of the pile of debris. This particular view is kind of looking from the top down.
And is that how you first observed this?
It is.
And are you the first one to locate this item?
Yes.
Law enforcement uncovered it?
Yes.
Did you uncover it?
Just briefly to see that there's something under there, and then we froze it for the medical examiner.
Exhibit 172, what is that?
That's another view from the top looking down of evidence marker 4. Now more of the debris has been uncovered.
And you described that as being what?
Well, at the time it was we couldn't tell for sure, but it was definitely a larger piece of flesh. It appeared to be a dark skin complexion.
Exhibit 173.
Evidence marker number 3 that I placed next to the smaller piece of flesh.
Exhibit 174.
This is a view again of evidence marker 4, now looking kind of at it towards the east.
Before it was uncovered?
Correct.
Exhibit 175.
Another view of evidence marker 4.
Exhibit 176.
A close-up view of evidence marker number 4.
Prior to the debris being moved?
Correct.
Exhibit 177.
That would be a close-up of evidence marker 2, which depicts the smaller piece of bone.
Exhibit 178.
So now this is where the medical examiner laid down a yellow tarp, and she placed evidence 2, which is the bone, on top of the tarp with the ruler next to it.
And you were present for that?
Yes.
Exhibit 179.
That's evidence marker 3, which is the small chunk of flesh that was located. Again, the medical examiner removed it from the wooded area and placed it on top of a yellow tarp.
Exhibit 180.
That's evidence marker number 4, which the medical examiner moved to the tarp and now revealed that it was a human leg, which appeared to be severed above the knee and at the ankle.
So that would be the calf portion of a leg.
Correct.
Exhibit 181.
It's a close-up of the human leg where it was severed at the ankle.
Did you make any observations of how that was severed?
Where it was severed at the ankle appeared to be pretty clean. I believe the medical examiner stated she believed the ankle was
Objection, hearsay.
Any exception?
I think I can ask a different question.
Okay.
Just your personal observations.
It appeared to be more cleanly cut at the ankle.
You contacted the medical examiner's office, and are you aware that this was given a medical examiner case number?
Yes,
And is that case number 242415?
I believe so.
The portion of the leg that was covered under, what kind of debris did you testify it was covered under?
A larger pile of leaves, some small sticks, and then some like larger logs.
You testified that it looked unnatural, or like an unnatural portion of the landscape, correct?
Correct.
Did it appear to you that it had been intentionally covered?
To me, yes.
The blanket, is that something that was recovered by law enforcement
Yes.
and it was placed on inventory?
Yes.
What number is it? I'm going to have Detective Donner show you.
146.
That number fell off.
Yeah.
Going to have Detective Donner show you Exhibit 162. 46. I just wrote that and I couldn't remember it.
You want the scissors?
Do you know what that contains?
It should contain the blanket.
I'm going to have you open that and identify what's in it.
So this would be the pink blanket that I recovered from the park at 31st and Galena that shows Sade Robinson's face on it.
I'd ask that Exhibit 146 be received.
Any objection?
No.
It's received.
Thank you. I have nothing further.
Cross?
Yes, thank you. So I just want to start with kind of like the timeline of kind of some of the searches you did. You really participated in 2 searches of this Galena Street Park, correct?
Correct.
The first one was on April 5th, correct?
Yes.
And at what time of the day was that?
That was later at night. I believe we may have arrived at the park around 8:30 p.m.
Okay. And you're searching this park with other detectives, correct?
Correct.
And during that search on April 5th, that's where you locate was it 2 pieces of human remains and then a human left foot, correct?
Correct.
And after that search, your shift ended, you went home, right?
Right.
And then the next day you received a call from Sade Robinson's family or her friends about how they conducted their own search, correct?
I was dispatched to the assignment, correct?
Okay, but you're aware that there was a call to law enforcement that the family had located, or had done their own search in this park, correct?
Correct.
And they had conducted that search. Do you know whether police were present during that time or not?
I believe police were not present.
Okay, so after the search on April 5th, police leave, and then Sade Robinson's family comes in and does a search of their own, correct?
Correct.
And so when you arrived on scene, you're aware that the family had said they found a blanket, correct?
Yes.
And you testified on direct examination that the area where the blanket was found had been searched the prior day, correct?
Correct.
And this is multiple detectives and police officers walking through this wooded area, and no blanket was located on April 5th, correct?
At that time, correct.
And we saw a picture of the blanket. It's a distinct pink color. We saw how the position it was when you arrived, right?
Right.
It's pink. There looked like the underside was white, correct?
Correct.
And then about a couple feet from the blanket, you found more human remains, correct?
Correct.
And you didn't find those remains on April 5th. You found those on April 6th, correct?
Correct.
And so, just to be clear, April 5th, no blankets found. April 6th, the blanket is found, correct?
Correct.
And you're not aware of when that blanket was discarded in that park, correct?
I do not know.
You don't know if it was, it was sometime before April 6th, because that's when you found it, right?
Correct.
And are you aware that what day Max Anderson was arrested?
Not in particular.
Okay. And were you in charge of ever reviewing any surveillance? Was that a different person's job?
That was different detectives.
Okay. And just briefly here, you said that the human remains that you found looked like they were almost intentionally covered up.
Correct.
With leaves and dirt.
Yes.
And that's why, one of the photos you said that some of the debris had been removed and you were able to see a more clear view of what it was, right?
Correct.
And that blanket that you just opened, was that swabbed for DNA?
I believe it was sent to the crime lab.
And when you found it, did you do any preliminary review of it? You found any hair or anything?
I just examined it myself. I did observe some red spots that appeared to be blood, but we don't conduct any tests ourselves at the detective level for that.
Yeah, but your main role is you find the blanket and you secure it and make sure you preserve any evidence that could be found on the blanket or near the blanket, right?
Correct.
I have nothing further.
State?
Based on your involvement in this search and your knowledge of that area, is it that do you know if that blanket had been there when you searched previously on April 5th?
Objection, speculation.
If you're able to answer it, you can answer it.
On April 5th, I actually do recall seeing the blanket. It was never opened up or looked at because the park is unfortunately extremely littered. There's miscellaneous garbage and clothing items and things like that in the park.
I have nothing further.
Defense?
Did you draft a report indicating that you saw this blanket when you initially searched on April 5th?
I did not.
Nothing further.
State?
Nothing.
Thank you, Sergeant.
Thank you.